You know those perfect, epic Marvel moments where our favorite superheroes save the world with straight faces and killer one-liners? Well, guess what? Behind the scenes, these actors are just regular people who can't stop laughing at each other.
I can do better!
Today, we're diving into the most hilarious moments when the Marvel cast completely lost it and broke character.
Interesting.
Let's start with the Guardians of the Galaxy, because honestly, this cast-breaking character is basically a daily occurrence on set. Chris Pratt is notorious for making everyone laugh. There's this legendary moment during Guardians of the Galaxy where he's supposed to catch the orb, right? You know the scene. But instead of following the script, he just drops it. The look on everyone's face is priceless. Director James Gunn loved it so much that he kept it in the movie. That's the thing about Chris Pratt. Half his funniest moments aren't even scripted. But here's my favorite Guardians blooper. Remember the scene where Star-Lord is supposed to give this big, emotional speech? Well, Chris Pratt decides to go completely off script and starts making up random nonsense. Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora, is trying so hard to keep it together. And speaking of Dave Bautista, this guy is built like a tank, but has the sweetest personality ever. There's a blooper where he's supposed to say a serious line, but he messes up the words, and instead of staying in character, he just goes, "Oh no, I did it again," in the most adorable way possible. The entire cast loses it. Even the crew members behind the camera are laughing. The chemistry between this cast is insane. You can tell they genuinely love working together, which makes their movies even better. Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula, once said in an interview that some days they had to stop filming because everyone was laughing too much. Imagine being paid to hang out with your friends and laugh all day. Living the dream, right? Now, let's talk about everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Tom Holland. This guy is known for accidentally spoiling Marvel movies.
No.
But he's also known for being unable to get through scenes without laughing. And honestly, it's adorable. There's this behind-the-scenes footage from Spider-Man: Homecoming where Tom is supposed to be having a serious conversation with Robert Downey Jr. But RDJ starts improvising and making jokes between takes, and Tom just cannot handle it. He's supposed to be this confident superhero, but instead, he's doubled over laughing like a kid. The director actually had to separate them for certain scenes because they couldn't stop goofing around. In Infinity War, there's a scene where Spider-Man is meeting the Guardians for the first time. Tom Holland admitted in an interview that he kept messing up his lines because he was starstruck by Chris Pratt. Here's this kid who's now playing Spider-Man, working alongside Star-Lord, and he just keeps giggling nervously. They had to do like 30 takes of some lines because Tom would start laughing halfway through. Okay, we need to talk about the legend himself, Robert Downey Jr. RDJ doesn't just break character, he breaks everyone else's character too. This man is a menace on set, but in the best way possible.
It's biggest terror.
Let's try that again. Get back in here, you're fun too.
There's a famous story about the Avengers where RDJ would hide food all over the set and just eat during scenes. The directors didn't plan this. Tony Stark offering people blueberries? That was all RDJ being random. And the other actors had to just roll with it and stay in character, while this guy is casually snacking in the middle of a serious scene. Scarlett Johansson, who plays Black Widow, has talked about how difficult it is to do scenes with Robert because he'll randomly start improvising and catch everyone off guard. There's a blooper reel where they're supposed to be having this intense Avengers meeting, and RDJ just randomly starts doing a ridiculous voice. Scarlett completely breaks, and you can hear her laughing so hard she snorts. Even Chris Evans, Captain America himself, has to turn away from the camera because he's losing it. The best part? The Russo brothers said that sometimes RDJ's improvised jokes were so good, they'd keep them in the movie. So half the time, when Tony Stark says something hilarious, that's just Robert being Robert. The man basically played himself for over a decade, and we're all grateful for it. Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, has this deadpan sense of humor that catches people off guard. There's a blooper from Thor, Ragnarok, where he's supposed to say this really dramatic line about Asgard. But instead, he says it in the most ridiculous accent possible. Mark Ruffalo, who's playing Hulk, just stops and stares at him like, "Did you really just do that?" Then they both start cracking up. Chris Evans has this perfect Captain America image, right? Clean cut, professional, America's golden boy. But in bloopers, he's got the dirtiest laugh. He's laughing so hard he can barely breathe, which makes everyone else start laughing. And soon, the entire set is just chaos. Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky, is in the background, absolutely dying. Now, let's talk about some unexpected character breaks from actors you'd never expect. Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Doctor Strange, is usually super professional and serious. But there's this blooper where he's supposed to do a spell and his costume malfunctions. Instead of staying in character, he just goes, "Well, that's not very magical, is it?" in the most British way possible. The crew absolutely loses it because it's so unexpected from him. Chadwick Boseman, the late great Black Panther, had some amazing blooper moments too. There's footage of him filming a scene in Black Panther, and they're supposed to be having this intense confrontation. But something goes wrong, and instead of reacting seriously, Chadwick just starts giggling. Danai Gurira tries to stay in character, but within seconds, she's laughing too. It's such a beautiful moment because you can see how much fun they were having. Even serious actors like Benedict Wong, who plays Wong, have their moments. There's a blooper where he's supposed to make a portal, but the special effects don't work, so he just stands there making swooshing sounds with his mouth. Benedict Cumberbatch is trying so hard not to laugh, but you can see him shaking. Paul Rudd, our Ant-Man, is basically a real-life golden retriever in human form. He breaks character constantly because he's just having too much fun. There's this scene where he's supposed to be scared, but something funny happens off camera, and he just starts laughing while still being tiny Ant-Man size. The contrast is hilarious. Here's something most people don't know. Sometimes the directors break too. The Russo brothers, who directed Infinity War and Endgame, are usually super serious and professional. But there's behind-the-scenes footage where even they can't keep it together. During the filming of that massive final battle in Endgame, something goes hilariously wrong with someone's costume. You can hear one of the Russo brothers just losing it laughing in the background while trying to yell, "Cut!" Taika Waititi, who directed Thor, Ragnarok, is the complete opposite. This guy is chaos personified. He encourages improvisation and jokes on set. There's footage of him literally rolling on the floor, laughing at something Chris Hemsworth said. He's supposed to be directing, but instead, he's having the time of his life. That's why Thor. Ragnarok is so funny. The director himself couldn't stop laughing during filming. James Gunn with The Guardians is the same way. He's admitted in interviews that some filming days would run long because everyone was just having too much fun and breaking character constantly. He said he'd have to be the bad guy and tell everyone to settle down, but then someone would make a joke and he'd start laughing too. So, which blooper was your favorite? Do you have a Marvel cast member who you think breaks character the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe because we've got tons more Marvel content coming your way.